Our function is simple: to protect our people from the threats of the unseen.
Like Jinn.
The clandestines are not like the jinn you've heard about in stories or in religious texts. I mean, if Thor landed in the Himalayan mountains, he too would have been called a jinn.
So what are they? And what am I?
I'll show you.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah, and you're listening to A Bite All,
Where we take our current favorite pop culture obsession and enjoy it one nibble at a time.
and we've been nibbling and munching and discussing and talking about and obsessing about Miss Marvel. Are you?
You better be.
Yeah. Well, make sure you grab your napping pillows, because we got a new episode. I don't know. That wasn't good.
I have a giant body pillow that I use every night.
That's true.
It
True.
is nowhere near as cute as a sloth baby.
No, it is pretty big. It's like 2 people size.
It was too big. I think I had been using such a small one for a while, and then when we saw that big one, we were like, this is the one. Turns out it's not. But
not.
Guess what? It was sort of expensive. So guess what? I'm going to use it. And be sad every night when I go to bed.
Well, on that note, make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Bite Of. We also have a Patreon. If you like the show, you can support us there. Get bonus content, videos, other stuff.
Content. You like content? We got brand new content for all of our creations.
And also, if you don't want to join Patreon, you can leave us a review. You know, give us some stars. Leave a nice little comment.
Go ahead, leave us that 5-star
Stop.
review.
Stop it. Stop.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. I don't know why that happened.
You're just so excited about content.
You know what else I'm excited about?
Tell me, Noah.
This is our 100th episode.
Whoa. We didn't even pop no champagne for this moment.
No, I mean, technically we're past our 100th episode if you count like the videos. I said count. Oh my God.
Counting
If you count
content.
our videos and bonus episodes that we do on Patreon. But officially, this is our 100th episode.
Well, if you count the content.
Stop.
Wow.
Serious, 100th episode.
That is pretty great. That's monumental. You know, when shows on television get to 100 episodes, it's like a huge deal. They have a party. There's usually cake. I mean, this is just me and you sitting in a room.
Yeah.
But
We were kind of going back and forth about doing something for the 100th episode, but our 2-year anniversary of the podcast is coming up in like August-ish. So, I mean, we're going to do something then, because that way we get something nice out there. What do you guys want? You want like a live stream? You want us to make something?
yeah, how do you think we should celebrate with you?
100 episodes, 2 years.
2 years.
Like 50,000 plus downloads, you know, that kind of thing.
How do we party together?
Yeah.
How do we celebrate?
Let us know. We want to do what you guys would like.
I was thinking about just recently when we used to chat with people while doing a rewatch of the show with our Patreon members.
That was fun.
Yeah, I really liked when we chatted on Discord and watched WandaVision.
That was like peak us.
Yeah.
As far as like real-time interaction.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Miss you guys.
Yeah, miss you too.
Miss those watch parties.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I felt like we got to be like really silly in the chats with each other, and it was really fun interaction.
Yeah.
That was always good.
Yeah.
But Disney Plus, they like limit the number of people you could do a group watch with, right?
That's true. Yeah. So it was kind of first come, first serve as far as the group watching goes. But yeah, again, let us know, because our 2-year anniversary is coming up with you guys. And some of you guys have been around since the very beginning, since Midnight Sun. You listened to us talk about vampire doctor daddies.
I feel like
and night stalking.
I feel like a bunch of people who started with us on Twilight, when we were doing Midnight Sun, it was we ended up in a lot of like Facebook groups for people who like Twilight, and people were like listening to us from those. I feel like those people very quickly were disappointed in what we were doing after that season.
They're like, Bly Manor? Why?
Yeah, I know, because there are podcasts that are like dedicated
Yeah.
to Twilight.
Still.
Yeah. So we so if those people stuck around with us, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's a lot. Yeah,
2 years. That's wild.
We do have some more book focused stuff coming up. So,
Yes.
with more content finally coming out, because we did start this during the pandemic.
Say it right. Content.
That, now we have multiple things to choose from instead of what's coming out because nothing's being filmed.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we got some stuff coming.
Stuck in that apartment. The only thing we could do was shout into microphones.
Oh my God. But you guys helped us get through it. And hopefully we helped you get through it too.
We're all in this together.
Oh, High School Musical, the series? Okay, we'll do that next season.
Yes.
Just kidding.
We're starting from their third season too. We're not even starting from the beginning. We're all going to be lost.
And we're not even watching the first two seasons.
No, we don't want to know who anyone is.
Yeah. All right, why don't you hit us with that recap?
Let's do it. So we're going to take a look back at Ms. Marvel episode 3, Destined. So the episode begins with a flashback to Kamala's grandmother in British-occupied India in 1942. Here we see her with Kamran's mother as they search for the bangle.
Boo.
After finding the powerful piece of jewelry, the cave, or wherever they are, collapses, and they run their separate ways. In the present, Kamala learns that she is a descendant of the ClanDestine, also called Jinn, and Najma and her fellow clandestines need the bangle to get back to their home world. Kamala tells her she'll get back to her because honestly, she has bigger things to tend to, like her brother's wedding.
Yay.
At the reception, the clandestine crew wedding crash, so Kamala pulls the fire alarm to get everyone out. A battle ensues, the Department of Damage Control arrests the clandestine, and Nakia figures out Kamala is, Nightlight, or whatever. Later that evening, Kamala receives a panicked call from her grandmother urging her to go to Karachi.
Yay! You're caught up. If you haven't watched that past episode, sorry to spoil that one, but here we are.
More spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
So let us officially take a bite of Ms. Marvel episode 4, Seeing Red.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be confused with the Disney Pixar movie,
Turning
Red.
Yeah. Which you still have to watch. We haven't watched it
That's
yet.
our live stream for our 100th 2-year episode anniversary.
That's a mouthful. We're always so prepared. I have noticed that the Marvel shows weirdly tend to have a habit of faltering in the middle. I feel like it's, Loki is kind of one of them. Hawkeye is one of them. They have a weird thing of having to do stuff in the middle and then going to the finale. But this is me personally, I do feel like Miss Marvel kind of remedied that. I feel like this was a pretty solid episode for being the middle or over the hump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sort of agree.
Uh-huh.
I agree with that trend that seems to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like in these middle episodes, like 3, 4, 5 out of a series, maybe 6, depending on how many episodes it is. After I watch it for the first time, I kind of have this blanket statement where I go, it was kind of a mess. And Noah gives me a cocked eyebrow and a what? And watching it the second time, I don't feel it was as messy. But I always kind of feel like when my 5 a.m. brain is watching something, if it can't really comprehend what's happening, it means that something fluid isn't happening in the episode.
Yeah, your eyes being open.
No.
You wake up, you watch the first 10 minutes, fall asleep, watch the middle 10, and then I'm kidding, he doesn't do that, but...
Listen, if I fall asleep, I apologize. It's one of those, I almost feel like maybe we should start getting out of bed and sitting somewhere.
Stop it.
Because we're just laying down still, so it's easier for us to fall asleep.
I have Ziggy cuddling with me.
Well, Ziggy can move to the living room.
No, she'll get scared and run away.
Yeah, and also then halfway through the episode, the dogs are like, hello, we have to go out. We have to use the restroom. I'm just saying, maybe a smoother experience. We'll try it.
Sure.
All right. But anyway, so my first impression of this was that, yes, it wasn't as strong as the other ones. Looking at it the second time, I feel a little better about it. But yeah, I feel like they start off strong. We have a new character, new story. Wow, this is so exciting. And then in the middle, it gets kind of we don't have enough content
Well, I feel like
for
a
all
lot
these
of
episodes.
I feel like a lot of the middle episodes, I mean, if you look at kind of the arcs of them, they tend to introduce you to whatever's happening. You're really excited about it. And then they have to kind of explain the plot points or exposition dump on you, which most of them do midway through. So I feel like that's why a lot of people, and including myself, feel like, yeah, they're kind of not the best just because they're exposition heavy or they're a lot of like getting to the finale point. And this one was very much like in her mythology, but I feel like really showcased Iman as Kamala. It was interesting to see Kamala in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overall, I really enjoyed it.
Just thinking, it's just listening to you speak. It's kind of like Marvel Studios. They know the formula for movies. They know how to knock movies out of the park. Something about television shows, they're still trying to figure it out.
I don't know. I don't know if this is just Marvel, though. I feel like most TV shows are like that. It's very rare. I mean, what? I would say maybe Our Flag Means Death and Haunting of Hill House are the only exceptions where the entire thing all the way through was fantastic.
Well, but also, just to be a brat about it, a lot of TV shows have 24 episodes and can keep it interesting most of the time. These smaller series should be able to knock it out of the park every time.
Yeah, maybe. I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on what you're looking for. I think the benefit of this one and why this doesn't feel like it's like the other ones is because it's kind of consistently been sitting with Kamala, getting to know her in this coming of age thing. So it didn't really teeter from that. We actually got to see more of this side of her and being somebody that's kind of torn between being too Pakistani, being too American, being too much this, being too much that, and not really figuring out where she fits in. So it kind of just continued that, you know what I mean? In a different setting, but with more people.
Right. I think it's kind of funny that we leave Bruno with a possible broken wrist and he's not mentioned at all in this episode.
No, he's fine. He needs to go to Caltech.
Yeah, he's gone. He's left.
Fine.
He has a cast on. He's out of here.
We love Bruno, but we don't need to talk about Bruno in this
go.
episode.
There you go.
I did want to point out, though, so this was I wanted to know who the director of this episode was because it was a different name. They kind of changed directors here from the previous one. So Sharmeen, I'm going to butcher this name. I'm so sorry. Odai Chinoy. It's a hyphen name. They are a Pakistani-Canadian journalist, filmmaker, and activist known for their work in films that highlight inequality with women.
Wow.
They also are the recipient of 2 Academy Awards, 7 Emmy Awards, and a Knight International Journalism Award. So yeah, I was looking up some of the work that they've done outside of this. Pretty intense stuff. But
that's incredible.
Also amazing stuff because not many people talk about that. So it's pretty interesting.
I wonder what brought them to wanting to direct Marvel.
I think the first like Pakistani American superhero. I mean, that's really a huge thing for us to see. And I think them doing the Karachi episode was probably the best choice for them to do, for sure. Yeah, so I thought that was a nice little fun little tidbit about that. Yeah, so they do have a short on Netflix, I believe, as well, that won some awards. So look that up. Look them up. And I'm sorry I butchered the name, but you can look up the director's name and then type it in.
Noah said, I am going to let you do that.
Yeah. All right, so the opening of this episode is actually kind of interesting because just because they're flying halfway around the world together does not mean that all is forgiven at Amir's wedding.
They are not even sitting next to each other.
You know, that is one of my worst fears on an airplane is to fly with somebody and then be separated from them. Not even just so that way I'm not next to them, but also it's like, oh my God, I have to wait for them to get off.
Well, in my eyes, they chose these seats because that guy, no one chooses the middle seat. That guy did not want the middle seat.
Maybe he did.
They are so mad at each other.
Maybe it was first come, first serve, and he was already there.
Oh, like a Ryanair experience in Europe? Run! Yeah. Run to the plane.
Just get to it as fast as you can. Yeah, but it is funny because the guy in the middle doesn't really know what's going on, but he kind of gets like hints of what's going on. And just as soon as like ruining your brother's wedding and stuff, he like puts up the newspaper. He's like, ooh.
Just going to read my stories.
Yeah. We do see a flash of text message that it looks like Kamala is more than willing to explain everything to Nakia of what happened, but doesn't seem like she's ready to do that with her mother.
Only blue bubbles. Nakia did not answer at all.
Not even that devastating 3 dots and then disappearing.
Nope.
Nakia's like, I have her on.
She's like,
don't even show me her
I'm
alerts.
in triage with Bruno.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You remember Bruno? Yeah. His arm is shattered.
Okay, I'm also busy leading the board at the mosque, and then you up and leave.
Yeah.
Not now.
But they make it to Karachi. The cons are in Karachi.
Yay.
At least 2 of them. So I was really excited about this. If you did listen to our Before You Watch, Ms. Marvel.
We've said that every episode.
I told you, it's my goal to say it every episode. And
Either they do or they don't.
My 2 things so far in this episode came true that I really wanted. An episode where they go to Pakistan.
Woo.
Got it. And Red Dagger. Got it.
Look at that. Your wishes came true.
Yeah, it's such a titular part to her origin for her to go to where she comes from, for her to be herself. So I obviously feel like that's why they did that. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to sing Believe in Yourself, but you didn't say believe.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
So I got excited, but whatever.
Fun little note. So I was curious if they actually did film this in Karachi because, they don't really have a good relationship with Disney. And they didn't. They filmed it in Thailand.
Oh, interesting. So
Yeah.
they still went somewhere, but they didn't go to Pakistan.
Yeah, Disney is, because of like the political situation there and
Mhm.
everything, Disney's just not allowed to film there.
I did like when they arrive at the airport, they are greeted with flower petals and beautiful necklaces.
Right. This is almost like the Egypt situation in Moon Knight. You know how most of the time in like mainstream stuff, when they go to like that part of the world, it's always like orange filter.
Horrible spy film.
Right.
Things are shifty.
The same like stock music every single time. That's not the case. And in fact, we arrive at night there. You know what I
It
mean?
feels celebratory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though it's at night, it's still bustling with life and everything like that. And it's colorful. It's not just orange and
Mhm,
hot.
mhm.
So that was a good point to point out.
If anyone listening ever picks us up at the airport, please feel free to throw flower petals or confetti and give me a necklace.
And also have watermelon Sour Patch Kids, because I like those.
Oh, okay.
I want those. I thought we were just saying what we'd want.
Okay. I was just going with what happened in the episode, but that's fair. Well, if we're putting in orders, I mean, I really do enjoy a fresh cold bottle of water right off the plane. That's nice. Ooh, crisp. Ooh, I feel better. I'm dehydrated. This is better. Thank you.
Just shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars.
Mine seems simple.
Yeah.
Just flower petals, flower petals and water.
Okay.
Yeah.
All natural. They're both naturally
Hello.
occurring things.
And then guess what? The flower petals, they biodegrade. The water bottle, I'll recycle. Or reusable water bottle. Thank you.
Or just shoot water straight at you.
I mean, I'm pretty low class. I'll take it.
Yeah. But when we do finally see in the flesh Sana, her grandmother, she is also accompanied by her cousins, it's interesting seeing them together because she's like OG, and then you see the new after partition and everything like that. So it's interesting to see that culture within the culture,
These cousins,
they're fine.
they're a waste of space. Like, not necessarily like in the story, but just for Kamala.
Yeah.
They could really care less about her.
Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know if it's like superficial. You know what I mean? It was just like, they obviously love seeing her, but
Right.
it was like, we have to show her around.
Right.
It was interesting. They kind of came in and came out. The only reason why I think they were there is because in the comics, a lot of her family is at the house.
In the comics, did the cousins play any sort of role in anything?
No, I mean, kind of the same role. They like showed her around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were very welcoming to her. But
Well, and it's interesting though. Like, I would have felt more comfortable with them if they did live in the same house,
right.
like you say they do in the comics. Like
I don't know if they do or not.
Like,
I'm not
well,
sure.
No, they say, okay, well, we'll see you later. They leave them at the airport.
Right.
I don't know. These cousin characters were really not worth much to the story.
Yeah. Kamala does get a very warm welcome from Sana. and she likes her jewelries.
Yeah, she's so cute.
But when it comes to Muniba and her mother, it's not so welcome.
I did think that it was nice, though. It seemed an apprehensive happiness
Right.
to see each other.
As soon as one of them opens their mouth and talks about like, oh, your skin's so dry. Is it because of your diet? It's like, oh, great.
Yeah, that's a very mother thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you're filling out. What does that mean?
Yeah, that happened to you on the last trip.
What? Pandemic?
Yeah.
Lady?
Well,
sorry, Mom, if you're listening. Not sorry, actually.
Sorry, not sorry. Thank you, Jesus. We noticed also, this is like sort of along those lines, when we like will take a picture of like the dogs at the house or whatever, we'll get a message back from my mom that's like, oh, I noticed the leg on that chair is bent. Like, so like, what are you're supposed to be looking at the dog, but they're like zooming into the background to like look at different things in the house and then commenting on it. It's like, yeah, we know we're getting a new chair. We already did. We got a new chair, everyone.
I wonder if we're going to be like that as parents.
I purposely will not send them photos sometimes because I'll see like we didn't wipe the side door where like a dog nose print is. I'm like, well, forget it. I'm not sending them a photo because they're going to notice that.
Now they know.
Well, maybe not. Maybe I cleaned it.
Yeah. Yeah. So already off to an interesting start in Karachi. The showrunner, Bisha, she did say that this episode is specifically drawn from the experiences of the writers and directors, especially being ABCDs. So, which is interesting.
ABCDs, yeah.
Yeah.
American Born Confused Desi, was that what it was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to where they come from and
right.
then, like being in that culture in America, but then going there and it's like just completely different.
Yeah.
The same, but different.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh, that's probably why they threw in those things of like, why is it spicy?
Right.
You know, that type of thing.
Or in a bag or whatever, yeah.
Right. So, I mean.
Although,
cool.
Give me some delicious rice and chicken in a bag around a bonfire any day.
Oh, bonfire.
Content. Bonfire. What is happening to us? Oh my God.
Where are we?
These Ys. Why are these Ys just working themselves in?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Something's wrong. There's gas in the house.
But to Sana's house.
Oh, sure.
So let's talk about, while we're with the family, let's kind of just like talk about the family in this episode. Kamala and her grandmother do try to solve the mystery a little bit in this first couple scenes of the bangle and of who the clandestines are, who they are, all of that stuff. But we do also get a little bit of who Sana is and what she's doing kind of by herself away from her family, her artwork, which is beautiful, but also heartbreaking
Sad.
at the same time, because she does that so that way the history doesn't get lost from her family during partition. But also she was so little that she's just trying to do it from memory.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but it's also beautiful work. Such beautiful work.
Oh, this room? Give me this room. I want this room. I want, see, I'm a chronic crafter in the sense that like I get very into a craft for about a week and then I don't do it again. Like I made one pom-pom and then didn't make any other pom-poms.
Which is so frustrating because I'm like, it's beautiful. Can you please continue?
I don't know what it is. But I want a room to have all of my crafts in with beautiful crystal things hanging. This room is just an artist's haven, a dream.
But you have to like create those things to have those
but
things
I think
in the room.
you get to dabble. You get to dabble, right? You get to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's all at your fingertips.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I love her grandmother's art room.
It is really great. And we do see a picture of Aisha as well that she drew, which looks just like her as far as we can tell.
And she says, this is what I can remember of her.
Yeah.
So throughout this whole episode with the family, a lot of questions are asked, but I feel like none are necessarily answered. And so, you know, we have that story of the train, right, of her following the trail of stars to go back to her father. But we never really know when Aisha left them.
Right. I mean, I feel like they did kind of say it around the time, but yeah, she wasn't with them when they were during partition.
Right.
So, or leaving to Karachi. Yeah, right. Like, where was she during that time? Maybe we will see in the next one because of where this episode leaves off. But yeah, she had to get back to her father at some point. But where's the mother?
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Unless, she unleashed the trail of stars for her daughter to follow, but she knew that she couldn't join them.
Right.
So she was watching them, but wasn't really there.
Yeah. We'll see.
I don't know. Give me the answers.
What are stars?
Fault in Our Stars.
No, stop. Oh my God. I remember I read that book before watching the movie. I was sitting on the floor in my room crying, bawling at the last couple. I was like, this is insane. Who would write this about kids?
John Green.
And then I just read they both die at the end about kids. Yeah, it's just...
Teens love it.
What is it about us that like to read or consume things where teenagers are put in the worst possible situations?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, things like the Hunger Games, I think it's purely for entertainment. But things like...
And also, fuck the government.
Well, that's true. But things like They Both Die at the End and Fault in Our Stars, I think it's about the human experience and feeling loss and love.
The journey.
Yeah.
No.
Life's like that, man.
I don't like it. So Kamala asks Sana about the bangle. She asks, why was it sent to her in the first place? Am I a djinn? And Sana's just like, of course. At least that's what my father told me. So this is the first moment where it's like, oh, wait. Okay, so now nobody's trustworthy yet. Like, nobody knows. It's just what's said.
Well, I kind of appreciate that, though,
Right.
of her just being like, yeah, and
Well,
we are.
It's
yeah.
refreshing that Sana isn't like this, like, not depicted as this all-knowing elderly figure that has all the answers. Because she's trying to figure herself out still.
Right. I also, though, feel, again, we have a question. I don't know if we really get a clear answer to it. Kamala asks her, why did you send me the bangle? And she doesn't really tell her.
No, because she asked her like two questions at once. She asked the djinn question as well. And that's the question she decides to answer.
We need to know why.
Maybe she just did. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
Right?
Maybe she just did just because this is the second time she's asked her and she hasn't answered. Maybe Kamala. I have a theory at the we'll talk about it at the end.
He said, you better wait, bitch.
Well, because I just want to make sure in the process of us talking about it that it makes sense at the end.
Oh, okay.
But she does say that she's like, she doesn't know what all the fuss is about. It's just genetics. Genetics.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a weird explanation for her to give, but I mean, it is what it is. That's all we got.
Why do I have heart issues? Genetic. No, I don't know. I don't. At least not that I know of.
Yeah. But through the course of this, I do feel like she can't have these conversations with her mom like this, obviously, mostly because she hasn't opened up about that.
Mm.
She does later in the episode when she does talk to Sana again. Sana pretty much tells her, like, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Like, you're not focusing on the right thing. Like, there's beauty in all the pieces and everything like that. It does feel like very much like a lot of the theme of this isn't just coming of age, but like it's all about purpose. You just got to find your purpose. It's not the same as everybody else's. You're not going to be Carol Danvers here.
Yeah. And I also think maybe there's something to be said of stop questioning things so much.
Right.
You have this power, you have these genetics, this bloodline that runs through you. It is what it is. Accept it and use it.
She does say, she was like, what's the rush?
Right.
She's like, I don't have everything figured out. I don't know. Like, what's the rush? What's the rush?
Uh-oh. We've gone to a new speech pattern.
It's not a very Looney Tunesy. Looney Tunesy.
Looney-Tunian.
Yeah. But I love this grandmother. I'm obsessed with her. She's great. She's there for Kamala, and I love that the simple fact of when she does go to the bonfire with Kareem, she's like, go be a kid. Unlike what her mother does with her. It's like, where are you going? Who are you going to see?
Yeah, it's kind of like
opposite.
They're kindred in that way, Kamala and her grandmother, where they're willing to take chances and have fun. But because, her mother's experiences in her life of seeing her mother be like that caused her to go the opposite direction.
Right.
But now her daughter's like that. So that's hard for Muniba to see.
Right. I mean, it might make sense, though, for her to feel that way. I mean, she went through partition, and then she has to be where she's at now, and then she doesn't necessarily feel like she doesn't know where she fits in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same exact stuff with Kamala.
Right.
So and they do use this vehicle of the partition to talk about that, which is also, I mean, kudos to Marvel, whoever wanted to do this, but like to really talk about something like that in a show like this is pretty, I mean, I have to like commend them on that, to like not shy away from flat out being like, this is a big story point for this.
They're educating the masses
right
now
Right.
about something, which is, and they're doing it through the medium of Marvel, which is kind of groundbreaking.
More consumable for, I mean, people are going to watch it. Why not educate them as they're watching it?
Right. Also, in the conversation on the roof that you had sort of given a nod to, she says something like, people are still following the rules that old Englishmen.
She said, yeah, she's like, there's a border marked with blood and pain. People are claiming their identity based on an idea some old Englishman had when they were fleeing the country.
Let me tell you something about old white people. They are the fucking worst.
Especially old English white people.
Yeah.
I mean, colonizers. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. They are the worst.
Right.
Yeah. And like this description completely, it just like underscores like the intense, horrific stuff that did surround this.
Yeah.
That line alone, I was like, damn. Because like, you know, they talk about it, but like until somebody like says that word, then it's like, oh, okay.
Well, so many of the masses even today are living,
well, still causing pain,
or living through the consequences that people who have nothing to do with them made.
Right. Of course.
Created.
Right. Again, old Englishmen are the worst.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to just like broaden it to just like old straight men.
Right. I
Are
mean,
the
yeah,
worst.
true. Be better.
Be better.
Be fucking better. Yeah. Did you know that no one told Kamala that jeans and a New Jersey
okay, this
Avengers
is again,
shirt wasn't good?
Again, these cousins are worthless.
Nobody
They
told her
forced
on the
her-
way.
This is what I'm saying. They saw her wake up. They saw her get changed. Nobody said that jeans aren't allowed. And then at the boathouse, they're giving her shit because it's too hot outside, blah, blah, blah. You know, you live there.
I mean, I'm only going to give them the benefit of the
No.
doubt because they're not the worst, but they're not the best. They're just there. They could have. I don't know if they went together.
These people, they did. They woke her up
I'm just
in the
saying,
house.
I
Do
know.
not stick up for the cousins who then abandon her in the middle of Karachi because they have to get coffee with their friends. They're terrible.
Sorry.
Everybody's making me feel bad. But in this scene, something interesting happens, right? So an old friend, one of Muniba's old friends comes. Auntie comes. And she says something that Muniba was always a bit of a rebel.
Right.
Excuse me?
Of course. Of course.
When?
I had a feeling.
Show me the proof.
Right. Like, what did she do, though?
Uh-huh.
Like, did she just, like, I don't know.
She named her daughter Kamala.
Right. Did you just name your not a typical Pakistani name, or?
No, there's more to that.
Had to have been. Yeah, for sure.
Muniba, what are you hiding from us?
I mean, it probably is one of those things of, like, don't do what I did type of thing, and that's why she's so strict on her. I don't know. It never works, guys. I'm just saying, it never works. It's an excuse that's as old as time, and it doesn't work.
Tale as old as time. Yes, with the follow-up. He's feeling musical tonight, folks.
Needless to say, her first day in Karachi is a bit of a struggle. There's a lot going on.
Struggle bus.
Yeah. Wrong clothes. Everything's too spicy. Her cousins are pretty much the worst.
They ditch her.
Yeah, they ditch her. We still on. I will. This is the last part we'll talk about Sana before we move on to the rest of the episode. Let's just get the family stuff out of the way now.
Get it out of here.
Get it out of the way. The scene with Muniba and Sana is pretty. It's eye-opening, but it's also very relatable for people that have like interesting like friction relationships with one of their parents or both of their parents. So Mama Khan is like cleaning because that's, I mean, what else is she going to do? The house is kind of whatever, but it's also like your mom's house. So like, if that's what she wants, that's what she wants. Toffee boxes are everywhere. And she asks her, why is there so many toffee boxes? And Sana's like, well, I know you like them. So in case you came, I always had some.
Time for you.
But I ate some, but there was always some.
It's been years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave toffee boxes hanging around.
Not without eating them.
Delicious.
Yeah, but we do get a little bit of an insight with how it was Muniba growing up a little bit. She was shunned by people, her neighbors, everything like that because of her mom's stories.
But yeah, fantastic theories.
Yeah.
But again, we don't dig down deep. We can only kind of put things together. Is she talking about being Jinn? Is she talking about following the trail of stars?
Probably that. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's safe to assume for sure. But like, why would people get mad at that? Like,
I don't know. Because
Even
it's
if-
related to partition, maybe?
oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe.
But again,
Right.
this is my thing. And I'm saying, I just as the viewer, I want to know more. I want to know more of why they're like this and what were some of the more specific experiences that kind of shaped who they are.
Yeah, I feel like as far as her parents and stuff go, I mean, I don't know how much more we're going to get, at least in this season/show, because we have 2 more episodes left. And, you know,
And she's going to be in Karachi in the next episode.
right. I mean, in past Karachi for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so hopefully, I mean, we'll see. There is a line that she does say that was pretty, like, it really goes down to like the meat and potatoes of like why their relationship is so jagged. And she says, I didn't need your stories. I needed my mother. I was like, I don't, it's a beautiful line, but I hate that. I don't like, but I feel like sometimes those are the things you need to say to people to like be like, I get what you were saying, but that's not what I needed.
Right.
Like my life was shitty growing up because you didn't care about what was happening to me. Only what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But also somebody should have believed Sana. Just going to point that out. Just want to say that.
I mean, at some point, Muniba is going to have to see Kamala use the bracelet, the bangle, right? She's going to have
Right.
to see that she has these powers and that her mom was right all along.
Right.
Or unless she knows about it already.
She probably does. Or she knows something.
Muniba, girl, be one with the ladies.
Yeah.
What a trio that would be.
It would be an amazing trio. All right. So speaking of her cousins, they do ditch her. They separate and she's like, you know what? I'm going to go to that train station because apparently the train is the most important thing for me to find right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point in the episode where the tone and the aesthetic kind of start to change a little bit. The soundtracks, like wall-to-wall pop stuff, is changing to more like dramatic, ominous music. We do get another cameo of Scott Lang, Mr. Ant-Man, mural on the wall. And the mural does say, you can start small and still be larger than life. That's such a good affirmation.
I love Scott Lang fully capitalizing on
Why
his
not?
time. He's got
Seems
the
all
podcast.
positive. Yeah.
He's got murals on walls in other countries. He's really out there making the best of it.
Oh, yeah.
Wait until he gets Quantumania'd. His podcast is
I don't
in
think-
that movie.
Did you say Quantumania'd?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing that happens to you.
when you go.
Quantumanized. Quantillioned.
But you know what this mural does tell us? It tells us 2 things.
Tell me.
One, that apparently Ant-Man is the most popular Avenger in the entire world.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. And also, Adrian Alphona, the artist that did the Miss Marvel comics, exists in the MCU because that is his artwork, or their artwork.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's like an artist for Miss Marvel exists in the MCU.
Don't think too hard about it.
I noticed the
The mul-
artwork, so I had to make sure I wrote that down.
The multiverses will collapse.
Yeah. Did you notice the sign when she was going in there that said it was being recorded? Video surveillance?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I just thought that it was being renovated for historic purposes or something along
Well, that's
those lines.
nice.
Yeah.
But it's being surveyed. So,
Ooh, someone's watching.
yeah.
That's why she puts her mask on, I guess.
Oh, good point. And now we do find out that Bruno only made the mask so far. I mean, come on.
Well,
It's full costume here.
no. Well, she gets 2 of the pieces in this episode.
Yeah, she does.
She buys one in the street.
Yep.
She wants 300, but they say no 500. And then later on, the Red Daggers give her the blue.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bruno.
So as she's looking at this mural, all of a sudden, a dagger flies and nearly misses her head.
Whoa!
It's Kareem. It's the Red Dagger. I'm so excited.
Fully on the offense, just throwing daggers at people.
Yeah, because he sensed the Noor.
He's got Norsense.
He got Norsense.
He's got Norsense.
Such Norsense. this
Oh, the Norsense of it all.
But they do end up fighting a little bit. I mean, it's more like a quiptastic tete-a-tete.
It's like a little cat and mouse moment, like a
Yeah.
meow, meow
I
kind
do,
of thing.
but immediately I love these two on the screen. Again, not back to like the Before You Watch Ms. Marvel episode, but that again was one of the things I was really excited for. And I'm so happy he's in here.
I have a question though.
Yeah,
Did you guys listen to our Before You Watch episode?
guys, in the Before You Watch Ms. Marvel, I said I was excited for
Did you-
Red Dagger.
Guys, in the episode, did you know that Noah was excited? I do enjoy this scene.
He said that he sensed the Nor, but they're also called the Unseen. So are they unseen but not unsensed?
Yeah.
Right? You know, but like if the Watcher can't see them,
But no,
like, what?
but I think that the Red Daggers obviously have the Norse sense. So they have the Sixth Sense, Norse sense.
It sounds like a bunch of Norse sense to me.
Well, look, if there's one thing that you've taught me about Marvel is that if you think too hard about it, you're going to end up hurting your brain and it's not going to make sense.
Just go in a loop. I'm going to be Quantumania.
Whoa. See, it's taken effect. The
not-
Quantumanium didn't.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, listen, Kamala, I know you're new at this. You got to retract your little crystal steps there.
Your
Because-
crystalline platforms.
Yeah, because your boy, he's using them against you.
Yeah. It was cool.
They're falling on top of each other. There's a moment, oh my God, are they going to kiss? No, they're just going to fall.
I mean, I'm totally
Is-
team
like,
Kareem.
It feels Team Kareem.
That
oh
rhymes.
no, are you Team Kareem or Team Bruno?
or team Kamran.
Oh no,
We have a love square, guys.
it's a
It's a square.
rhombus, depending on the angles.
Eh,
Trapezoid.
no.
All right.
Well, I'm team Kareem. Not just because it rhymes, but if you listen to our Before You Watch Miss... No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Well, no, I'm either team. I'm not Team Kamran.
Yeah.
I don't like him. He's from the enemy camp. His mother's wild, so I don't think we want to get involved with that.
His mother's wild.
His mother's wild.
Yeah.
I'm Team Kareem or Team Bruno.
Yeah. Well, either way, Kareem realizes that she's not clandestine
ClanDestine.
and asks how she got the bangle from Aisha. Which she asked, how do you know Aisha? Which, again, we don't get an answer to.
You're coming up in here asking me about my grandmother?
Yeah.
My great grandmother? I don't think so. I just met you.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Just as a refresher, or like if people like to know the differences between the MCU and the comic, literally short little description. In the comics, Red Dagger is his name alone. It's not an organization or a league.
Okay.
So that's the difference. Also, he was in the house that Kamala goes to when she goes to Pakistan in the comics.
Oh.
She's not related to him. That's how they meet. And then like she goes out to patrol and then that's how they meet. So yeah. So he's like a
Gotcha.
lone vigilante in Pakistan in the comics. And this one, it obviously seems
It's
like
some sort of society.
it's a Nor hunting legacy that's happening.
Because they have.
The Norsens.
Thank you.
A bunch of Norsens.
Bunch of nonsense.
Yeah. So Kareem ends up taking Kamala to the Red Dagger headquarters, which was cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the aesthetic of it. It was like not, I don't even know what color the walls were when they were walking in. It was like greenish gray, but it was like reflective and like very like beautiful. It was beautiful. The Red Dagger's leader is named Waleed, and he's played by Bollywood superstar and director Farham Akhtar. So
All right.
a lot of people that are very much in the Bollywood community.
Getting the heavy hitters, baby.
Right, which is pretty cool because I wouldn't have known that unless the show came out. So it's cool to see that they're taking really big figures in that community and being like, this just makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
why would we not?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. This is like one of the most important scenes. This whole Waleed
Maps on the wall,
experience.
maps from the floor, baby.
But the whole like exposition dump. This is where the big exposition dump takes place. We do get some nice holographic maps while they're talking and some like training stuff. But yeah. So Waleed explains that if Thor landed in the Himalayas, he would too have been considered a Jinn. Now we know that she's not Jinn.
Right.
Like not Jinn, but that's just what they were called.
Right. It's like it feels like anyone from an unknown realm would have been called a Jinn.
Right. It's like a simplified word to use like to explain anything out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
That's kind of what had happened. The clandestines and Aisha are from the other realm. There are many realms around us that we cannot see, and this is just one of them, and this is Aisha's home. It's connected to our world, but hidden behind a veil of noir that separates our world from theirs. So there's a lot of themes of borders, a lot of themes of duality in this, so it's just being amplified more with the bad guys and good guys and where she comes
Right.
from. So, which I thought was pretty interesting. The visual we got, I tried to see if I could see what the Noor looked like or what it was trying to represent, because again, I'm still holding out that maybe also Inhuman is a name for the clandestine. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, is that Atlan, which is where the Inhumans kind of came from?
Mhm.
It kind of is spiry like it, but there was nothing that really, it just looked like it was all its own.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like, I don't know, we kind of keep trying to fit these pieces together, but what this scene sort of showed me is that I think that this is going to just exist in this storyline. You know, the fact that what he kind of ends up telling Kamala is that they actually don't want to go home. They want to bring their home to
Here.
them.
I mean, Bruno was right. Things go boom.
Right. So they want their home to take over our world. So it kind of feels like at the end of this, she's probably going to stop them from doing that. And that's where that is going to end.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, does she send them back? Does she defeat them?
I hope she kills them.
They can't kill Najma.
Why not?
I don't know.
She's wicked.
Yeah, but there has to be like, I feel like for her story or whatever's going to happen in the Marvel, something's going to happen. Has to connect to something. You know what I mean? So like somebody's going to have to be able to get away to like alert the big bad to then the attention go back on
I
them.
already got it. I figured it out. Guess what?
Cameron.
She kills
Knew
Najma.
it.
He sees it. Vengeance for his mom.
No.
Sorry. The love square becomes a love triangle again. Cameron turning bad.
No. Well, I mean,
He's got that bad blood.
in the comics, he is bad.
Taylor Swift.
And he does turn her over to the Inhuman. What's a legacy? Bloodline? Heritage? Oh, some weird guy. Anyway, whatever.
Baby, we got bad blood. Used to be sad love.
Oh, Taylor Swift knew, so she wrote the song ahead of time, and
Thank
that's
you.
the song we're gonna use.
It's going to play at the end
Yeah.
of the series. Hello.
But overall, this is, from what I've seen from that community, it would have been disappointing for the MCU's first like Muslim hero to be a Jinn.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
But I'm glad that they didn't wait too long to be like, no, that's just, it's kind of like that was an alias they gave him, but it wasn't in the actual name of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They just, again, gave that thing they couldn't explain what they knew as of bad.
But then, I mean, guys, why do it at all?
I don't know. The only thing that I can think of is just to connect it to the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because again, her powers in the comics come from who she is genetically, which is an Inhuman. So
Sure.
if they have to connect it this way, I would assume.
But just call them clandestines.
Why not?
Well, I'm saying,
I don't know.
No, I'm not blaming you. We had this
You are.
conversation last episode. We were kind of like, I was like, well, I guess the writers are from that culture. And you were like, actually, maybe some of them aren't. But it's like, then but still the showrunner is. So why? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we knew there was a reason. They weren't going to just flippantly be like, disrespect the entire culture that way. I mean, we were hoping. Good thing they didn't.
Right.
So, but yeah, now we have our answers. So they made it only an alias for the clandestine. Great. Waleed also explains that the reason she can turn light into physical constructs is because she's connected to both the energy from where the clandestines come from and the matter of her own world. So just like what we were theorizing, for some reason, when you take two parts of something and put it together, it's better than the other parts separately.
That's why we're all better than our parents. I don't know.
You're going in on your parents on this episode.
I'm sorry. You know what? I backtrack. Let me do something better. Because tonight is the night when two become one. That song's about sex. Okay, and there I was, a little gay boy in Queens, singing that song. Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Know who your audience is.
Oh my God.
Also,
Okay. Hard pivot.
listen, I sing, I move on. Okay, it's a concert of sorts.
Is that how you think?
Huh?
It seems like sometimes to like bridge a point or something, or to like get to another point instead of segueing, you're just like song and then this.
No. Listen to me. Separate. How dare you? The songs are inspired by the conversation.
Okay.
And if you are not willing to reciprocate and join me in singing, then we have to move on. I have
I'll
no
listen.
other choice.
I'll listen.
Girl. He said, I'll listen, but only for so long.
Yeah. I was taking a drink of water.
I think there was a very audible, like, gulp.
I'll edit it out.
No, keep it in.
Intensify it.
But
But when he does say that, it's a tiny little tidbit, it does seem like she kind of like found a part of herself that she might have thought was missing. Because from here on out, she seems very much more comfortable.
Agreed.
You know,
I agreed. And she's also like letting it flow through her. She doesn't have like, she's not having any chakra blockages or anything like that. We also do, though, with him, she's like, what does this say?
oh yeah, the inscription.
The inscription.
That nobody can seem to translate.
Which he also is like, well, there was never an inscription there before. Interesting. And it says, what you seek is seeking you.
Guys, more riddles.
No, I know what this is. Figured it out.
What?
It's Aisha. She's letting her know you're looking for me, but I'm looking for you.
Is it family? Like, is that the thing? Like, you're seeking family, your family's always seeking you? Is that what it is? That's the answer.
I don't know, but it's got
Purpose?
stars, it's got light.
You're seeking purpose, and purpose is always seeking you, because purpose can't be purpose without somebody fulfilling it.
No. You're taking it too deep from what I'm saying. I think you're right, but what I was saying, I was literally just saying base value. It's Aisha.
Okay.
I'm looking for you.
No, I
You're
agree.
looking for me.
Yeah.
You made it poetic. You made it metaphorical. It was beautiful.
You're welcome.
But I'm just a fool. I said, it's a great grandma. Done.
That lady that we've seen a couple times and talked about.
It was her.
Well, spoiler alert, the clandestines that wedding crashed Amir's wedding escaped the Department of Damage Control Supermax and also left Comrade behind. And now they're going to Karachi. So
Karachi. Okay, when we get about an hour into these episodes, I don't know how far, like whatever, but
50 something minutes.
Right. So this room gets so hot, I think it melts your brain. Yeah.
Delirious.
Yeah. It's
everybody needs to know on this podcast now. It's almost 2 years, so I feel like I could talk to you.
100 episodes.
100 episodes. I can talk to you very candidly because you're still here. When I get hot, I get very sweaty in all the places, and I just don't like it. I don't like being hot. I don't like it. I get frustrated.
He's really, really hot. Missy Elliott?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Until you said Missy Elliott. And now
I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off. Nelly. Hot and her.
Got it.
They're all very representative of this moment.
Uh-huh.
We did so in our apartment. We were recording in a larger area, so it wouldn't get as hot.
Yeah,
we're in a smaller room now.
Right, where the sun hits all day, and we can't have fans on because it will be in the mics.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Watched.
This scene, this whole like leaving them escaping the DODC was pretty rushed, but it was fine. We had to see how they got to Karachi. Whatever. It's fine. It was acted well. The choreographed fight scene was great. So it's fine. Did you know? Rewatch the She-Hulk trailer.
Okay.
This facility is in the She-Hulk trailer, which I'm pretty sure that's where Abomination is being held, but I'm just saying.
Is it still lit as poorly? I don't understand why these maximum security prisons are so dark.
Funding. They need more money for locks instead of lights.
I don't care. Listen, you need both. If you can't see the people, they're going to escape. They're going to punch you. Okay? I'm just saying.
Guys, not as many sonic blasters and more overhead lights.
Yeah, that they can just rip out of these hands. You have, okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 clandestine, 1 kid, 2 guards in
I
the
think there's
dark.
5 clandestine.
5,
Or maybe 4. I don't know.
4,
6.
Adam, Najma, bald guy, cool lady.
I know them by their weapons. Belt whip, mace guy, spear lady, Najma. Yeah.
And then Kamala.
Pocket watch.
Yeah, pocket watch, yo-yo.
Yeah,
Yo-yo kid.
Yo-yo pocket watch. Yo-yo pocket watch. That was his weapon, for those of you that...
Did you listen to the last episode or not?
Did you get that far?
We're very self-referential these days.
So while they're in there talking about all the clandestine calamity stuff with Waleed and Harim and everything, of course, the clandestine attack.
Through the ceiling.
I mean, the Red Dagger hideout was not that great of a hideout if they could just jump through the ceiling, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's only a hideout if you're going in from the side.
The restaurant.
Yeah, not from the top.
Right. Yeah. This chase scene was fine. I liked it. It was cool. It's the MCU. There is usually action set pieces.
Gotta be a car chase.
Right. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I like seeing, it kind of showed us more of Karachi. It showed that the marketplace was bustling, that it looked lived in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, but it also, the cool shots that they did with the tight corridors, then the streets, how, chaotic it can be, especially if you're just have a rickshaw going through the streets.
These are my notes for this scene.
I love it.
The hose break in.
Oh.
Car chase. Kamala hits bald head guy with car.
Oh my God, her face when she did that.
It was fantastic.
I can't tell you guys. I've said it. I'm going to say it every episode until she proves me wrong. I love her. She is so good as this character. I'm obsessed with how she is Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just looks like she's reacting to doing the stunt. Not necessarily like her character hitting the bad guy, but it's like, oh,
it feels like
that.
a true kid, a true teenager in these moments.
Right. Red Dagger and Kamala are actually really good at working together as well. Like, they just flow together really nicely. When they did their, like, get your weapons out when they were about to come, I was like, I like this. This is good. They got it. Yeah. But, of course, we're getting close to the end of this season.
People gotta die.
Right. Waleed sacrifices himself. Najma does get some, like, stabs in. He dies, but not before taking out one of the other clandestine. So that was good.
Yeah,
He,
Adam.
Was that his name?
It's
With
like
2 A's.
It's Adam.
Adam. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Daggers to the back.
Right. Then, scuffling. They scuffle in, I want to say it's a place where they do laundry. That's what it looked like. Right? There was
stuff hanging.
Right. They were washing stuff. I don't know. Yeah. But Najma attacks Kamala. She hits the bangle and...
Whoa!
Right. The next thing we know, Kamala's in a train yard somewhere in India, presumably Bombay, going to Karachi. Right. She's there during the partition. 1970, 1947.
She's back in time.
She's back in time.
She's there that night that her grandmother had to follow the Trail of Stars.
It's crazy. I mean, watching this scene, it was beautifully shot. I think they did a good job of showing, like, doing great cinematography, but also showing, like,
the reality of how
very
scary it was.
Serious. And you can see Kamala kind of get her eyes start welling up because she knows what's about to happen. She's already past this part and she's heard about it.
Yeah.
These people don't know yet.
Yeah. She's in the vision that she's been having these last couple of episodes.
Right.
With the train, with her. Well, we never really locked down who the woman was in the visions. Was that her?
No, that was Najma.
It was Najma.
Yeah.
Talking to her great grandmother, most likely.
I don't know. It's not really clear. It just shows Najma reaching out. It's not clear if that was to Kamala or if it's just a vision of some sort. Because also, why would the train be coming towards her?
Well, that's the thing. I think that it's really her great grandmother's memories within the bangle.
Right.
And now she's going to see that whole story play out.
Oh, I hope her grandmother's not dead.
The great grandmother?
Yeah.
Maybe she had to
That's why
sacrifice herself
to
save the daughter. I don't know.
But she's back in time. So does that mean Kamala is the one that led her grandmother with the Trail of Stars?
Oh, no. Don't go there.
She's back in time.
Oh my gosh.
What
It's
else
like
would it
Harry
mean?
Potter.
And then Kamala's the one that tells her to send this to her when she was young.
She was like,
that's why nobody knows why she sent it, because she just told her.
she was like, write this on the bangle. I'll know what it means.
Oh my, no. Yeah, write a riddle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to know.
Write this thing for me, for myself. And then she's like, oh, I forgot.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh.
So,
I mean, this is the titular struggle that the character's going to go through. And then when they come out the other side, they have their full costume. They are the hero that they want to be.
yes.
And they're confident. So we just have to get through this with Kamala.
Yes, we have to somehow get a lightning bolt on her. And somehow she has to become Ms. Marvel.
Right. Yeah, get the name. Unless she doesn't really get the name until, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Yeah, but overall, I think it was a very solid episode.
I'm excited to see where our next episode takes us.
Yeah, this episode had to get over plot points, and kind of tell us a little more before we get that revelation. Happens every time.
Yeah, I really want her to kill Najma. But you know that there's no way they're gonna let Ms. Marvel kill someone, so you know it's gonna be like something,
an accident or something.
Right, rocks fall on her or something like that.
Train
Falls on her or something like that.
Train falls on her. Oh, even better. Wow. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know where we're gonna go from here.
It's the penultimate next week.
Oh my god, penultimate, guys, and then we got one more after that, and then see you later.
See you later. End of the podcast.
No. Imagine. What if we just didn't come back?
Episode 102. Done.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Never again.
I don't like that number. We can't end
Our
on that
100 episode 2-year anniversary is also our farewell party.
number. Oh my god, you're making me sad.
Don't cry. You know what will make you feel better? A special segment.
Oh my god, that was the worst segue.
That was the best segue.
No, but it was the worst content.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Content.
I'm gonna get you sad to make the segue make sense.
It's time for, well, that's a stretch.
Yeah, just like that segue you did.
No, that was my tightest segue this entire episode.
Ooh.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Is there any sexier, more useful, more glorious household item
I swear to God, if you say the slinky.
than the rubber band?
Oh.
The answer is no.
Wait, there isn't one that's better than
Nothing is sexier than a rubber band.
Ow.
So many things can be done with a rubber band.
True.
Holding papers together.
Uh-huh.
Fun fashion accessory.
Well-
how about wrapping it around your finger and playfully sending it flying towards a friend?
Playfully.
Yeah, no, I know. It's violence. It's violence. I tried to make it nice.
The reason why I said playfully, I'm like, you know that if I did that to you, you'd be like, why?
I'd be upset.
Yeah.
And I would never get over it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why there's no rubber bands in the Ivy Reed household.
You know, I was never, because you know what it is? I was never the one that shot people with rubber bands.
Well,
I had an older brother.
right. I feel like if you have one sibling that is that to you and there's only two of you, you don't really have the opportunity to do that.
Are you the rubber bander or the rubber bandee?
Right. I'm one of like too many.
105.
6.
Okay.
And so I had ample opportunity to be the rubber bander and the rubber band.
That's very true. You're
Yeah.
right. The buck stopped with me.
Right. I'm sorry.
So the rubber band has a long history that actually starts in Mesoamerica, where the sap from the para rubber trees was mixed with the juices from morning glory vines to create the predecessor of what would later be known as rubber.
Oh my God. 2 segments with sap
Sap,
or trees.
gum.
Trees are amazing.
Yeah, chewy, rubbery things.
Air to breathe. It's great.
Sap. Yeah. So colonizers came and
Oh my
brought
God.
this early rubber back to Europe, where they toyed around with it for a few hundred years.
I bet they did.
It wasn't until the vulcanization process was created that led to the rubber being more useful. With vulcanization, rubber is less likely to break and can be stretched to greater lengths.
Isn't that tires?
Right. So it's all connected, right?
Vulcanized
so this process,
rubber.
really opened up the doors for rubber to become more useful.
Wow.
So while bands of rubber, with the help of vulcanization, were being produced as early as the 1800s, it wasn't until 1957,
dear Lord,
right, that a man named William Spencer patented the actual rubber band as we know it.
His name isn't Rubber.
No,
Come
rubber's the
on.
material.
I hate that.
It's not even called like the Spencer band, rubber band. He just went with the
Who
most
did
obvious.
that?
He did.
Well, you're stupid. What was his last name?
Spencer.
Oh, these are Spencer bands. That's not bad.
That's fun.
yeah.
All right.
There. Go back.
All right, I'm going back. So a little more than a decade earlier than 1957 when it was patented, he was bothered that his newspaper would blow all over the place, so he took some scraps of rubber from the Pennsylvania Railroad Company where he worked and tied it around the fluttering papers. Spencer built his first rubber band factory in Alliance, Ohio. His company, Alliance Rubber, is still the #1 producer of rubber bands in the world. They create about 14 million pounds of the stretchy cherubs a year.
What's their tagline?
Alliance, #1 rubber banders.
We're holding it together.
Send that to them.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Ouch. Don't do that.
Rubber bands.
It's another one. Rubber bands. Why'd you break? Rubber bands.
Y2K, why'd you break? Rubber bands.
Why'd you get dry and not stretchy? Rubber bands.
Rubber bands. Yeah. Over time, they can crack and break, but decades until
Yeah,
that
they had it
happens.
since the 1800s and they didn't until 1950 what?
I mean, they're 57. There is like
That's almost the 60s. Oh my God, our parents.
I watched a couple of videos. Our parents.
Our parents.
Our
were-
parents.
When was one of your
When was
parents-
Britain founded?
Yeah. When did those colonizers make the thing?
What?
When was your parents were born in the 50s, right? One of them?
My dad was 49. My mom was 55.
Oh my God, they were born before rubber bands.
Were patented.
Oh. Wait, but that's still
Rubber
that counts.
bands
That counts.
existed.
That counts. That counts.
Yeah, okay,
They weren't
okay.
widely distributed. You know what I mean.
I mean,
You should tell them.
57. Stretch Armstrong only came out about 2 decades later.
Oh, only 2 decades later.
Girl, he says time is big when I mention it, but when you're a fool. I'm just saying they're closer than you would
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Forget it. Segment over.
I bet if you told your mom, she's like, oh, okay.
She's like, you need a rubber band?
Yeah, dude. We're going to get an Amazon box of like a 700 count thing of rubber bands. But they're all the tiny itty bitty, like thin ones
Oh,
that are completely useless.
unless you have braces.
No.
Or
No,
you're
I mean like normal size, but like super thin.
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
those.
Those, they snap pretty easily.
They're also the worst to like hit people with.
I wouldn't know.
I would.
Well, we differ in that way.
All right, next week, penultimate episode. I said that. You
Yeah.
heard it.
Woof. Woof.
It's
Get
hot.
us out of this hot box.
All right, well, goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to A Bite of, artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite of. Bye.